guys, Jennifer here and welcome to Subscriber Lunch Sunday. Today I'm going to be sharing 4 lunch ideas that are all about taking everyday ingredients and turning them into something special. Like many of you, I'm really trying to limit my trips to the store these days. So the reason I picked these subscriber lunches to make is because they all included things I already had in my house. Now I would love to know the kinds of lunches you've been able to come up with recently. So if you'd like to send in your quarantine style lunch idea, go ahead and use the link in the description box below. Now smash that like button. Let's get on to the lunches. I'm kicking things off with a lunch idea sent in by Kendaria. Kendaria is from Florida, and for her lunch today I'm going to be using as many unicorn accessories as I can because that's what she chose for her theme. For this lunch I'm going to start with the main course first. Now Kendaria requested a classic spaghetti and meatballs, which my kids love, but like I said, today's video is all about taking regular ingredients and turning them into something special. So for this lunch, I'm going to start by cooking the spaghetti noodles. And you guys, this is about 6 ounces of spaghetti, so I don't need to make a ton. And I'm just going to cook this for about 7 minutes or until it's al dente, which means it's still a little bit firm to the bite. So now that the noodles are done, I went ahead and drained them. And to make sure that these don't stick together, I'm going to add in about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm just going to toss the noodles all around in that oil. Now at this point I'm going to go ahead and stick these noodles in the fridge. Now I know that sounds weird, but stick with me, you'll find out why. Next I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven at 375 degrees, and then I'm going to get out my muffin cups. That's right you guys, I'm actually going to be making some spaghetti and meatball muffins. Now you guys know anytime I'm using my muffin pans that I always like to use my silicone liners. They make cleanup so quick and easy. But if you don't have these, no problem. You can go ahead and just spray your pan with a little bit of non-stick spray, or you could grease them, whatever you have. You just want to make sure that these aren't gonna stick. So now that these noodles are nice and cooled, it's time to add some cheese. And you guys, I'm adding 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese and 1/2 cup of Parmesan. I'm also adding in here about a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning because I want these muffins to be full of flavor. Now I'm just going to toss this all together. Then I'm going to divide this spaghetti between 12 little muffin cups. And as you can see, I'm trying to arrange these noodles in kind of a nest. That way I have plenty of room for what's to come. Okay guys, now at this point I'm going to go ahead and add about 1 tablespoon of store-bought pasta sauce right in the center of each little nest of noodles. Once that's done, it's time for the meatballs. And I love store-bought meatballs, you guys. They are so quick and easy. My kids always love them, so I almost always have some in my freezer. Of course, if you wanted to, you could definitely make yours from scratch. I've just placed 1 single meatball into each little cup. Next, I'm going to add just a little bit more pasta sauce on top because I don't want these meatballs to get all dried out. And then finally, I'm just going to add 1 more sprinkling of Parmesan cheese all over the top. Now, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then when they're done, they look like this. Now, I think it's best to serve these while they're still warm. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 of these into Kendaria's lunch, and then I'm going to move on to her fruit. In this back section of the lunchbox, I'm going to go ahead and add in some strawberry hearts, and then over here I'm going to add in some carrots. Next to the carrots, I'm going to be adding in some pickles, and then for Kendaria's snack, she requested some Cheetos. Cheeto Puffs to be exact. So I'm just going to put a bag of these right on the side, and then it's time to add in a very special treat. For Kendaria's treat, she requested a brookie. And if you've never heard of a brookie before, it's really just a combination of a cookie and a brownie. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried this. To make these, you just start by making a regular batch of brownies and a regular batch of cookie dough. Once you have your brownie batter in your pan, then you just drop spoonfuls of cookie dough all over the brownies and you just bake it like this. And now to complete Kendaria's lunch, I'm going to be adding in some unicorn picks, followed by a unicorn topped apple juice. So that is everything in Kendaria's lunch. I'm going to let my taste testers come give it a try, and they'll let you know what they think.
My favorite part of this lunch was the brookie. My favorite was the spaghetti cup.
My favorite was the puffy Cheetos.
I love a brownie cookie.
next up, I'm going to be making Marley's lunch. Marley is from the Netherlands, and for her lunch today, I'm going to be using as many yellow accessories as I can because I know that Marley loves yellow. For Marley's main course, I'm going to be starting with a good old hot dog. Now you guys will have to let me know down below if you ever find yourself having plenty of hot dogs but not having any hot dog buns. That seems to be a common thing in my house. And I think that's one of the reasons that we make what we call a special quite often. And that's because instead of using a hot dog bun, you use a tortilla. And that's pretty much what Marley requested for her lunch today, but her version of the special is a little bit different. As you can see, I have a tortilla here and I've already added some cheese. And once that cheese is almost melted, I'm gonna add a hot dog, which I've already heated in the microwave. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the pan and I'm going to carefully roll it up. Now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let it cool down enough so that I can handle it. And I'm going to very carefully cut this into bite-sized pieces. So now I'm going to add these to the lunchbox and I'm going to add one little food pick into each one. And I'm also going to include a little bit of ketchup on the side for dipping because that sounds delicious. So now that the main course is done, my next step is to add in Marley's fruit. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this entire front section with pineapple, and then in this back section, I'll go ahead and add the raspberries. Now in this back section of the lunchbox, I'm gonna go ahead and divide that with some silicone liners because I don't really want these next two things to touch. Over on this side, I'm gonna be adding in Marley's vegetable. She requested some sugar snap peas, so I went ahead and trimmed the ends off of these, and I'm just going to stick them right over here. And then over on this other side, I have just enough space for Marley's special treat. Now, she requested some fun flavored Oreos, and right now I have some of these Trolls Oreos, and these are the ones that actually have a little bit of glitter and pop rocks inside. They are so fun. And then for her drink, she requested some grape juice. So I'll go ahead and add that on the side as well. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in Marley's lunch.
I like the Trolls Oreos and the pineapple.
I really like the special. My favorite was the special too.
My favorite was the Oreos.
Next up, I'm going to be making Stella's lunch. Stella is from Vienna, and for her lunch, she requested a Disney theme. So I automatically decided to go with Toy Story. And that's because for Stella's main course, she requested mozzarella sticks. And I knew that I had a box of these mozzarella sticks in my freezer. Now, technically, those are not stick shapes, but they're exactly the same thing, just in fun Toy Story shapes. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these to my air fryer. That way they can get nice and crispy without using any oil. And while they're in there, I'm actually gonna start working on Stella's special treat. For her treat, Stella requested chocolate chip cookies, but like I said, I'm taking ordinary ingredients and I'm turning them into something extra special. So I just have some store-bought cookie dough here. You can see these come in little squares and you're just supposed to break them and bake them. But what I'm actually gonna do is cut each of these little squares in half because I wanna make little tiny mini cookies, like bite size. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these into little balls, get them onto my cookie sheet, and then stick them in the oven. So now while those are cooking away, I can get the rest of the lunch ready. For Stella's fruit, she requested a berry mix. So I'm actually gonna be combining strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And I'm gonna go ahead and add them to the biggest section here on the side. And I'm going to add in this really cute little Toy Story pick just to dress it up a bit. And then in the back section, Stella requested cucumber, and this is gonna fit perfectly right in here. So now at this point, our chocolate chip cookies are done. So I'm gonna remove them from the oven, and they are so cute and little, but I'm gonna need these to cool down completely before I can finish them up. So I'm actually gonna stick this entire tray in my fridge so they can cool down a lot faster. So now moving on to Stella's snack. She requested goldfish crackers, and since I'm going with this Toy Story theme, I thought these Toy Story ones would be perfect. So I'll put those right there. Next, I can go ahead and add in the mozzarella sticks or mozzarella shapes. Of course, I think these are best served piping hot, but they're also good at room temperature. And to go along with these, I'm also going to include a little bit of marinara sauce for dipping. So now that these cookies have cooled down completely, completely, I'm going to make them into mini cookie sandwiches. So I'm just going to take a little bit of store-bought frosting and I'm going to swirl it right in the center, and then I'm going to close it up into a sandwich with another cookie. But I'm not quite done yet. I thought it would be really pretty to go ahead and dip the edges of this cookie in some fun sprinkles. And these ones totally remind me of Toy Story because the colors are very similar. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this little sandwich cookie right in the back section of the lunchbox. And then you guys, last but not least, for Stella's drink, she requested water. And I just so happen to have plenty of Toy Story choices available. I've got Buzz, I've got Woody, I've got Jessie. And for Stella's lunch, I think I'm going to go ahead and add in Jessie.
I really like the cookie and the goldfish.
I like the mozzarella shapes. My favorite was the mozzarella bites too.
I love a goldfish and the cookie sandwiches.
Now that brings us to a lunch idea sent in by Lucy. Lucy is from California, and for her lunch today, she requested a Peppa Pig theme. So I'm going to be adding in as many Peppa Pig accessories as I can. For Lucy's lunch, I'm going to start with the main course first, and she requested some delicious egg muffin cups, and I love making these. I actually have several videos on exactly how I make these, and I'll go ahead and link those down below if you want to check out my full recipe. But basically, muffin cups are the perfect way to make eggs a little bit more exciting because you can really change out the ingredients to whatever you like, so they are totally customizable. Now I'm just going to pop these into the oven at 350 for about 20 or 25 minutes, or until the egg is cooked through. You guys, these smell so good. Now sometimes I like to bake up a big batch of these and actually keep them in the fridge for the week, so these little egg muffins are perfect for meal planning too. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of these little muffin cups right into the lunchbox, and then in this back section I'm going to add Lucy's fruit and veggie. For her fruit, I'm going to add in some fresh mango. Now sometimes I get a good mango and sometimes I don't, but this one looks pretty good. And then over on this side, I'm just going to add in a few slices of cucumber. Now moving on to Lucy's snack. She requested pizza flavored goldfish crackers, so I'm just going to fill in this back section here. And then for her sweet treat, she requested vanilla yogurt, but she also requested some pink sprinkles on top. I think this looks so fun, and those pink sprinkles really go well with a Peppa Pig theme. Okay guys, now the very last thing I'm going to be adding into Lucy's lunch is her drink, and she requested a Good to Go bottle with the Peppa Pig topper. This is a strawberry kiwi flavor, and there's actually some hidden vegetable juice in here as well.
I like the yogurt. My favorite was the mango.
The pizza goldfish was my favorite. My favorite of this lunch was the egg cup.
Now don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.